So you're wondering, is the iPhone 13 line still a good iPhone line? Are the iPhones still good basically? I'm telling you that these are gonna last until like 2025, 2026, honestly. Maybe even 2027, I'm talking about iOS support, but these phones are still good. I'm be telling you if you guys have to upgrade. Well, if you guys have an iPhone 11 or lower, I say upgrade. I wouldn't say get the 12 because the 12 has like extra radiation, whatever. If you have a 13, don't upgrade to a 14. Upgrade to a 15 if you want. But I'll be telling you guys if you guys should get like the regular version or the pros. For me, I'm a pro user. I have to use a pro because sometimes I'd be recording. I don't have my camera on me. Right now, we're actually recording on the iPhone 14, the regular one with the front-facing camera. We're not using the back one because obviously I can't see. The past like maybe month, 2 months, 3 months maybe, I've been testing the iPhone. I mean, I used the iPhone 11. I bought one recently. I've been using the SE, the second gen. I've been using the 13 mini for a while now, actually almost since like the beginning of the year. I've been using the iPhone 13 mini, the 13 regular, the 13 Pro since like the beginning of the year. I don't have the 13 Pro Max. It's actually the 14 Pro Max. The only difference really is the dynamic islands. You can see that thing right there, and the 13s don't have that. But even the 13 Pros, if you can see that. The iPhone 15 and up, all of them have it, and then on the 14s, only the 14 Pros have that. As what I've seen, well, I looked it up and I couldn't find if the cameras were different. All of them say they're 12 megapixels. So the front, the back, they record 4K up to 60. On both cameras, you guys have the regular camera, then you guys have the ultra wide. And then on the pros, you have a telephoto, which basically just zooms in farther. And it can shoot macro photography, basically meaning that if I wanted to, I grab this little plant right here and take photos of these little individual stems or whatever they're called. That's what I mean by that. If you guys don't need that, then you guys probably need to get the regular ones. After using all these phones, I've seen that I'm an iPhone Pro user because I need the extra cameras just in case if I go out, don't have my camera with me. I can just use these. These actually shoot really nice video. I'm gonna see if I can upload some videos from Santa Cruz. I had them in 4K, but I don't know what I did, and they downsampled to 1080, which was weird. I shot most of it in cinematic mode on this one. I think it was since the iPhone 13. The iPhone 13 turned to, the base is 128 gigabyte, and then the max is 512 on these, and then on the pros it's up to 1 terabyte, and that's still going on the 15s right now. Right now I'm actually recording on the iPhone 14, the regular one, and this was 128 gigabytes. I have another one right here. This is 512 gigabytes. Like I said, I have the 14 Pro Max right here. The iPhone 13 and up do have these SIM card trays right here, and the 14s don't. If I could just show you real quick, the iPhone 14s and up don't have that, only the 13 and up. So as you can see right here, there's nothing right on this side. There's nothing right here, if they even like focuses on it. There you go. So it doesn't have it on the 14s and up. Only eSIM. eSIMs are available for the XS. I'm not sure about the X, but XS and up, you guys can have eSIMs. And it's basically the same thing. It's just electrical instead of a actual SIM card that you plop in. And the 13s and lower, I actually do have them. That's why I actually got my 13. But then let's just say I have to upgrade because someone dropped it. So on the iPhone 13, it says they're all 12 megapixel photos, which they are pretty good. The iPhone 14 Pros, it says that's 48 megapixels, which is like 4 times more. I swear this was like 24, but I could be wrong. But I will say, I think the iPhone 14 Pros do shoot better in low light. I mean, based on my experience, these shoot way better and shoot way faster than if you were shooting on the regular one. Besides that, I don't think there's too many differences. On the day-to-day use, you're not really gonna... Okay, you are gonna see a difference because this one has Pro Motion. I think that's what it's called. Basically, it goes from 1 hertz all the way to 120. Basically, what Pro Motion does, it makes the phone ultra smooth, as you can see, compared to the regular ones, which are just 60 hertz, meaning that it's always gonna be 60 and it is gonna drain more battery if you guys are on Safari than the actual Pros. The 13 Pros and the 13 are basically the same battery life because the 13 Pros have to actually compute more since they have the Pro cameras and blah blah blah. It goes up to 120. The 13 mini does last a little bit less, and the 13 Pro Maxes are gonna last more, obviously. For me, battery life really does depend. My 13 Pro 1 terabyte, I actually got it at 86% battery health, and then My 13 was 100, or my 13 mini was 100. And what I will say is that once this reaches like 83% battery life, I think basically lasts the same amount like throughout the days. They're probably gonna give you 4 to 5, 6 hours. I think it just really depends on how you're using your phone. For me, I'm like a power user. Sometimes I use it like for hours on end. So obviously I'm gonna need a charger. What I did realize using my 14 Pro Max is that the Pro Maxes actually do have way more battery life. Let's say 5 to 6 hours basically I would get on these phones. 13 mini, obviously you're gonna get less, probably like 3 to 4, which is still a good amount as long as you have like a charger with you. It's nice and small, really tiny. Like just look at these. Look at this, really small. Now as compared to the Pro Max, which you're gonna see a big difference right here. You see that? Really big difference. It fits inside the phone and still has a lot of extra space. So I think it's whatever you guys want to. Honestly, I prefer the 13 mini instead of having the 14 plus. Apple thought that the 14 plus would sell way more because people were wanting bigger phones without actually buying the Pros. But in my opinion, the 13 mini is amazing. The 12 mini was nice, but the battery life wasn't that good and radiation and all that. But 13 mini, really good. And 13's really solid. All these phones are really good. They're gonna last you long. You just gotta see what type of user you are. Are you gonna use your camera more? Are you guys gonna be using more apps, editing on them? It really just depends on what you're gonna do. If you're actually be doing more work on them, I'd say get the Pros. If you're not, just if you're like a regular user, if you're gonna get it for your kids or you just don't use it that much, just get the regular ones because you're not really gonna use all the extra power. It's kind of like the MacBooks. Like, are you gonna get the regular M3 chip or the M3 Max? The M3 Max, you're basically just using it for business purposes. That's all it really is. More editing, game development, a whole bunch of stuff like that. But, or not even like the M3s, right? Like I'm talking about the regular MacBook or the MacBook Air. I think that's what it's called. And then the MacBook Pro. If you're just gonna use it for like web browsing, get the lowest tier because you're not gonna need that extra power. But if you guys are gonna be editing, game development, graphic design and all that, actually get the Pro because that's basically gonna cut time on rendering stuff, uploading stuff, basically everything. What I will say, the 13 Pro I think is better that way because it's as good as the 15, I'd say. So I had the 15 and I think the 15 was about the same as this 13 Pro. Uploading wise, I think it was uploading 5 to 6 different apps at the same time and it didn't really like crash out. I think this is actually a little bit better than the 15. On the 14 it kind of does crash out like a little bit, not crash, but like it tells you to go back to the app to actually keep uploading so it doesn't stay in the background, just like this 13. But obviously you could just take it one at a time, or you can use 2 or 3 apps at the same time. Besides that, I don't think on a day-to-day you guys should notice too much differences, especially if you're just browsing the web, taking quick photos and all that. The Pros, like I said, if you're actually going to be using the camera more, long distance, these phones are investments. Unless you guys trade them in with your carriers, I don't see a point in getting the regular 13s or 14s, 15s. The regular iPhones, I don't get the point. I say just get the Pros. They are investments, honestly. That's how I see it, at least. Phones are investments just like your MacBooks, just like anything else. I think they're investments. So I say get a good one that will last you. This is 1 terabyte and I don't think I've even gotten close to it. I think the closest I've gotten to filling it up was 500 gigabytes. I have 512 on my Pro Max, 512 on my 14, my 13 mini, and then I have an iPhone SE 3rd gen. It's 256. And then this one I'm recording with is the 14. I have a 13, which is 128 gigabytes. I say just get a bigger gigabyte size, at least 256. 128 is kind of low nowadays, especially if you're going to be recording videos and stuff like this. And in 4K, which I'm recording. Hopefully it looks decent. I'm not recording with any mics, no expensive camera. I'm actually going to record with a different phone right now. But yeah, we're going to see differences. Let me know what you guys think about this. Like, comment, subscribe. My bad that this wasn't like a scripted video where I'll tell you like specific features that this thing has. I'm just telling you guys on the day-to-day use which one's gonna be better. And yeah, now we're gonna do like comparisons, like 13 mini to regular 13, 13 to 13 Pro. You guys know what I mean. Like, comment, subscribe. We're gonna be talking about cameras, updates, a whole bunch of stuff. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys next time.